I almost did that perfectly. I kind of fucked that at the beginning.
It's okay.
Oh, wait, why can't I press this? What's up, my man? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
That was the new logo, guys. We changed up the logo. I don't know if you noticed this. We've completely changed it up. I'm like trying to find the YouTube link right now for Instagram, so you're gonna have to bear with me for a second. That was almost good.
It was a little scuffed, but it'll be okay.
I mean, whatever. It is what it is. But like, I gotta figure out how to make it work. Dude, I got Brent Daniels coming on next week. Isn't that fucking
That's
wild?
So
but like I can't be like fucking up like that. Like I gotta like practice. Like gotta practice the intro so it doesn't do that. Guys, Tyler is an amazing man. You're the guy I've done the most deals with. I'm pretty damn
really.
sure. You and Angelo are, I think, are like tied of like people I've actually done the most deals with. In general, like I think you guys are the most I've like JV'd with. Yeah, I'm pretty sure out of anyone, not just Astro. So
I feel special.
Yeah, you should feel special. I mean, you're a dope dude. You like, dude, the fact that you see every single property in Sacramento for me is like beyond like useful. Like it's so nice that you do that for me. And like, cause like I'd be screwed because I don't live in Sacramento. So I feel like our relationship, like, I mean, because you do that, I don't know if you've noticed, I give you properties exclusive sometimes when I'm like,
really?
you're in a mass.
Oh yeah, no, I know you gave me one or two a couple of times exclusive.
It's because when I got something going on, it's like I'm gonna give it to Tyler because he's always down to show it, and like you're a go giver, dude. So I'm happy to have you on this podcast.
Thank you.
It's cool. Yeah, and real quick, just you guys are gonna see a lot of cool stuff. I'm gonna come out with merch soon. I'm gonna try to come out with some merch with this lion on it. So it's hyped. I'm excited about the lion. I think it's cooler. I think it represents like killing the fear or scorching the fears a lot more than the campfire did. Campfire is like,
I think
you can go on.
I was just gonna say it looks more like high tech almost.
Yeah, it does. I just think it also is a better symbol than a campfire. Campfire, you like talk about your fears, but you never get over them. Like
Did you make this one yourself?
No, I hired this guy Marco Riviera. He's dope. He's a sub-2 student. If you're trying to get some logo stuff done, I might put his. I don't know if he wants me to give out his info. I'll talk to him about it. But he did all of that. He did that intro. God, that was so funny. Okay, anywho, let's get to the actual podcast. Skorch the Fears. I don't know what we're on, episode 37 or something. Tyler, bro.
Yeah, you've done a lot.
I've done a lot of them now. We've been doing it. I've almost done it. I've done it 9 months now. So we're getting there. My man, what tell me how you got started in real estate.
It's a funny story because it started with video games.
Nice. I love it.
I was playing some games with a friend, and he was telling me that this guy doubled his money in the stock market. It actually started with me getting interested in the stock market. And that, I don't know what happened with me, but that like triggered something inside me. Like there's people doubling their money in months. And so that night I went on YouTube and searched up what is the stock market. And mind you, this is only like a year and a half ago, or not a year and a half. I'm sorry, like 2.5 years ago.
Right.
And then just through a bunch of like YouTube videos, I came across Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I thought was a stock market book. So I bought it. And then
how old are you?
I'm 20.
Yeah, guys. I was saying on my Instagram story, I thought you were like 22, 24. You're 20, bro. That means you were 18 or 17 when you started?
I was 18.
That's pretty
when I started in like the stock and like stocks and stuff.
So basically you were in high school or just graduated high school?
I graduated at 17. So
okay. So like
I was graduated.
So, okay, actually, I kind of want to just start at the beginning. What I consider graduating high school basically the beginning of your life anyways.
Oh, okay.
So tell me, so graduated high school, what was happening? What were you trying to figure out? Like, what were you doing?
Well, that was basically like I grew up racing dirt bikes. So that was basically like the end of my motocross because I was just getting hurt so much and I decided to stop. So I was at that point, I was just trying to like figure out what I was gonna do, and I wanted to be a streamer and YouTuber. And so I played games like every single day of my life, all day. Like my sleep schedule was so bad. I would sleep at like 5 a.m., wake up like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And then the entire time I'm awake, I would play video games. So I did that for quite some time, like probably a solid year. And then that's when I like learned about the stock market, was because my friend told me about it.
Nice. So you were trying to be a streamer because you like video games, and then you were like, I bet it wasn't quite making the money you wanted as quickly as you wanted.
No, I was hardly making any money. Definitely not enough to live on. And I would make like maybe 100 every couple of months. It was not like it's not something you make money on right away. I just did it because it was fun.
That's solid. You were making some money. I mean, I feel like most people don't make any money.
Yeah, I mean, I did it. I did it every day. So eventually, like people would just most of my money was like through donos, just people being kind.
Okay.
And like people just donate to me.
All good.
But yeah. So like I wanted to be like, I didn't even know what I wanted to be. So that was the main thing. But then I was like, okay, I gotta like figure something out because I'm 18. I gotta do something. And then I was just gonna be a firefighter because I was like, I don't know what else to do. But that never happened. I just told my dad to like make him happy.
Why would you think? Was he a firefighter?
No, he just wanted me to do something. So I was like, I'm going to be a firefighter. And then I didn't do anything about it.
You didn't want to go to college or go the traditional route at all?
No.
Yeah, you were just immediately like, this isn't for me.
Yeah, 100%. I didn't like school.
Okay, I gotcha.
I mean, I was like, I could do good at school, but I just had zero fun. I thought it was kind of useless. So I don't know. That's just how I thought.
I love it. So gaming, streaming, then you hear about the stock market from your friend. You do a bunch of research into that, and then you find out about you start reading Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yes, that's when I found out real estate was a thing. I didn't even know people bought real estate. Literally, I knew people owned homes, but like I didn't know there was all this like investing going on, like big companies buying real estate. I didn't know real estate agents were a thing either. So I learned that you can invest your money in real estate, but I thought you needed money. So I read the book. It helped my mindset a lot, but it got me nowhere in real estate, and I still put it off, and I continued to put money into stocks. And I was day trading. So I was losing a lot of money because I didn't know what I was doing. And then once I found out there were agents, then I was like, wow, you could be in real estate with no money. You can do that.
Whoa.
So then I wanted to be like an agent. And then through that, I found wholesaling.
Okay, but how?
TikTok.
What all the young kids are on today.
Some 14-year-old kid was telling me this process of how to make thousands of dollars. And I'm like getting pissed off that I don't know about this. And this 14-year-old kid is making thousands of dollars. Yeah. Damn. So then I went down the YouTube rabbit hole again and started watching wholesale videos.
That's so crazy to me. Like I'm 27 and I feel like I'm one of the youngest in here, but to get into this at like 18 or 14 is just ridiculous. But to get into this at like 18, like how do you feel about that when you hear like people like me being like, that's how insane that is? Like how do you feel about being so young in the game?
I don't feel a difference because I basically feel the same way you guys feel. We're just different ages. So like I sometimes, I'll sit back and be like, damn, I have a lot of time to like do things and make a lot of money. But then at the same time, when I'm like in the process and I'm not really focused on the bigger picture, I'm like, I need to be a millionaire next month, you know? So I'm like, that's kind of the mindset that I'm in. It doesn't feel like I don't take my time just because I'm younger, you know?
Right. I was just curious, like just in the perspective. So people treat you exactly the same. Nobody treats you any differently just because you're younger.
Yeah, for the most part.
You're also tall as hell. So like it's kind of hard to tell. Aren't you like 6'2"?
6'2". Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I remember like I would not guess that you're younger than 20. So like and your voice doesn't sound that young. So like it probably is going for your advantage. So, all right, you're talking to a TikToker, a 14-year-old TikToker. You get pissed off. You find out about wholesaling, but then what happens?
I started going on YouTube and watching videos, and then like that week, I thought I learned enough to start. So I called this like $14 million property on Craigslist and talked to the guy who was like
Bro,
representing.
what freaking $14 million property owner puts their property on Craigslist? That's so crazy.
It was like this. It was like this large like parcel of land in Sacramento,
Oh,
and
okay.
that you've probably seen it, bro. It's all over Craigslist. They still haven't sold it. It's like $16
Oh,
million
wait, is
or
it?
something.
Oh, dude, there is one that's like that. I have a feeling I know which one it is.
Yeah, you,
It's the one
you
in West
definitely
Sac
know.
that's like an
Yeah, it's
entire
West
like
Sac.
that's like the entire like left of it's like left of a highway or like a waterway
It's
or
on
something.
they're gonna create a canal, apparently. So it says this guy.
That's so funny that's still trying to be sold. That one I
I know.
also remember looking at when I was just starting because I started basically around the same time you did. That's just absolutely hilarious. But sorry, keep going. So you're talking to that
Yeah,
guy.
I called him. I told him, I was like, "Hey, I'm a new like wholesaler, and
Nice.
I don't know what I'm doing." Literally, that's how the conversation went. I just told him everything, and he
That's
was
so
such a
funny.
nice guy because he was like willing to talk to me and willing to like help me. He's like, "Yeah, man, like just send it out to people you know. If you get a buyer, we'll pay you a finder's fee and all this stuff." So I started like trying to market the property, some $14 million parcel of land that I had no buyers for. So that's how I like started.
I
And
love
then
it though. I love
yeah.
that you just took action anyways. It's like, all right, well, I guess there's a property on here, so let's just try to figure something out. I don't know. Because like honestly,
Yeah.
that's like you'd be shocked. I mean, and that's why you're successful and is that like you just do the thing. And like I've noticed that the people who have that attitude are always the most successful. The ones who are just like, I'm just gonna do something and we'll figure it out later. I'm gonna shoot first and then ask questions later type of thing. Um, so I approve, man. I love it. I'm
It's
into it.
it's fun. Not
Yeah.
doing things you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's
100%.
kind
I
of
mean,
fun.
that's a business. So, all
Yeah.
right, keep going.
Yeah, that's pretty much the very beginning of it. And then I don't remember the exact pattern after that, but I think I just continued on the YouTube thing. Tried cold calling some sellers. I bought PropStream because I think that was the first program.
What was motivating you to do this? Like, you found out that like you wanted to do this, like real estate, because you could make money in it. What else motivated you to even go down this road?
that I could work by myself and not have a boss. Because
Mm,
I think I think one thing I always knew growing up, since I was like actually had to think about some sort of a career, was that I didn't want to work for a job. I know everybody says this, but and I think the main part of that was because of my motocross racing that I did. I started that when I was 3, and that's an individual sport. So I didn't have a team. There's no, I mean, you eventually will have teams like not kind of NASCAR teams and stuff, but it comes down to you. So I think just the fact that I was very independent my entire life with a sport translated into like a career, maybe. Um, and so I always just wanted to do things myself and work for myself and make things happen myself. So that's kind of like was the main thing why I didn't
What
want to do.
lessons? What lessons? Because this is something I've noticed too. Now that I've interviewed so many people, there is a common thread between people who do sports and people who are successful at real estate. I always did wrestling when I was a kid. I've done martial arts. That's always been my sport. And so I've noticed, like, I don't. Do you know the Trana brothers?
Yeah, I do. I
They
haven't
are
met
like
them in
really good.
person, but I talked to them.
They're really good basketball players. Like it's something I've noticed, especially in the younger guys, is that like sports is a huge thing. What lessons do you think you learned from motocross that like applied to um just business and wholesaling and like why you even did it in the first place?
Um, well, I think that nothing happens unless you put in the work and
Mhm.
and you're consistent. because especially in individual sport like motocross, you have to be consistent with your diet. You have to be consistent with your workouts. You have to be consistent with your training. If you don't train, if you don't go and practice, you're not going to improve. So I think just that being engraved into my brain, being like, to do things, to make things happen, I have to do stuff and be consistent. That's just translated, I feel like, into business. And I think a lot of things I've realized too, a lot of things in life, sports, anything, have the same lessons or the same like principles as business when you do it correctly.
Like what? Like which ones? Being individual, like doing your own thing. But like, what are the lessons or values?
The just being persistent and not giving up, I feel like was a big one.
I like it. That's like the most important one in my opinion, man. I mean, like there are other ones too in business that I think are good, like being a go-giver and like doing all of that stuff. But like even I feel like being persistent and just doing the thing is always the right way. And like, I don't know if you've been paying attention to like I just pay attention to people and I'm like, why is this so hard? Like to do the thing, right? Like what do you think? I mean, I feel like you've done business with people and you've been like paying attention to stuff. Like, what do you think really makes someone consistent versus not being consistent? It's a hard question.
It is. I think probably their mindset in a way.
Right.
And I don't have a straightforward answer because it's kind of different per person.
Right.
But I think it's just how comfortable they are as well in their regular life or day-to-day job. I don't really know. That's a hard question to answer.
It's one thing. It's interesting because you're like, I think it's also because you've been consistent for like ever, like with your motocross and like with this, so it like feels very natural to you. I sense. So okay, we'll keep going. So you're trying to sell a $14 million piece of land. You have literally no idea what you're doing. You're like 18 years old. You then do what?
I continued with. Well, I actually bought a realtor's course because I still wanted to be a realtor. It was Graham Steffens for $500.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it was good value. It wasn't anything like Astro or anything like that, but it had some good information in there. I never did anything with that. I never got my license. I continued down the wholesaling just because it attracted me more that you could scale that more to a business. And so I continued doing what everyone tells you on YouTube, which is just pull lists, cold call sellers, skip trace. I wasn't very good at that, and I wasn't doing enough volume for it to be successful.
Who were you watching?
I watched a lot of Jerry Norton and Max Maxwell.
Right.
Like the classic. Two people that get on the front page of YouTube. So
right.
I watched both of them for quite some time, and I bought Jerry Norton's thing.
Okay.
Like not his course, but like his program or whatever for like wholesaling
or whatever. Yeah.
Flipster. Yeah. I didn't use it. I canceled my subscription. But,
right.
Yeah. So I continued with that, and then on Facebook, I don't know why I was on Facebook one day, but I got a Facebook ad from Jamil, and then that was a month later. So I joined within a month.
How many long have you been like in real estate trying to make it work now?
Right now?
No. Like you find
once I found Jamil.
14 million, and then to Jamil, how much time has
about a month.
Okay, so this is all in a month. All right, cool. So you get an ad from Jamil. What attracts you to it?
I thought he was funny. So that was it.
Ad?
That was one of them.
Okay.
But yeah, I saw multiple. So I thought he was a funny guy, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt that he actually has some value to provide. And I just got on a call with the reps, and I liked what they said. So I bought it.
Nice.
I didn't have much money. I spent my entire paycheck.
What did you like on it? What they said?
I liked Well, because I don't have much experience in like mentorships or courses, so I didn't really know what to expect. But everything that they said, as far as the community, the courses, the Zoom calls, I liked it. So, yeah, I didn't really have much to compare it to be honest.
Mhm.
So that was the first thing I heard. I was like, okay, that sounds pretty good. I think I can learn a lot. So I don't know why I bought it though, too, because it was a lot of money. I didn't have that money. So
Yeah,
I made payments on it, and I just spent my entire paycheck on the first down payment. So
that's cool. Well, what job were you doing?
I was a driver for this seed company, and I would drop off supplies to like labelers and packagers of that company. So
Right.
it was really easy. I did it in a couple hours in the morning, and that paid me enough to be able to pay off Astro every month. So
Nice.
yeah,
Sick. That's cool. Okay. So you get attracted because Jamil's hilarious. You join Astro. Obviously, it's a pretty sick program. Um, so how did your like I don't know your story while you're doing it, right? Like how long did it take you to get your first deal, for instance?
4 months.
4 months. Okay,
Yeah,
solid. And then what was it? Was it a micro flip? Tell us about your first deal.
it was a
Tell us-
co-wholesale. So I did exactly what Jamil teaches in the course. I followed it pretty well. So I reached out to a lot of wholesalers and got sent a bunch of deals. And then one of them happened to look like a pretty solid deal. I negotiated with the wholesaler down a little bit because he was high on price. And then I sent it out. I actually didn't have hardly any buyers, but I sent it out to those that I did. And I had connected with somebody from New Western. That person from New Western told me they're not doing it. Was in LA. New Western is in LA, but the deal was in Sacramento. So I didn't know New Western was only doing LA. So the guy I talked to in New Western had connected me with another agent in Sacramento. And I called that agent to see if he was buying anything because my guy at New Western said he was. I told him I had the deal, and then he invited me to his brokerage to look around the place and meet all the investors there because it was like an investor specific brokerage, I guess. And when I was in there, I presented the deal that I had just got from that wholesaler. It was the same day too, by the way. This is all within one day. And then the guy comps it in front of me and liked it, so he took it. It was the first guy I talked to.
Nice.
So I guess you call me a little lucky, but that's how it went.
It's not luck, dude. That was persistence. I mean, for 4 months, how much were you working every single day?
All day, every day. I
Yeah,
didn't have a
bro, that's not
other
luck.
except the mornings because I had a job technically.
What's your schedule, or what was your schedule?
I would go work. I would wake up at like 6, or no, I think at that time it was like 7. So I'd work for a couple of hours. I'd get back around 10. The rest of the day I would watch the course videos, and take action on what was being told or taught to me.
How many hours a day were you working? Probably.
At that time, definitely probably around 8
Nice.
or 9. I don't
Yeah,
know.
dude.
I did quite a lot.
Yeah, that is a ton. Like that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So, okay. So just consistently working every single day, 8 hours, freaking crushing it, gets your first deal. How much was the rip? How much you get?
2,500.
Oh, that's pretty sick. Like
Not
I like
thousand.
for an 18-year-old, that's pretty solid, I feel like, for your first deal. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad.
yeah, dude. I
It's
mean, it's
not anything to
super
complain
positive.
about.
I mean, you could brag to your parents about it. Like, what do your parents think of that?
They thought it was really cool that I did my first real estate transaction.
How are your parents super supportive of like what you were doing and all that?
Yeah, they're very supportive.
That's good.
Especially my mom and my dad as well. But he always wanted me to have like a backup almost in case. I would always tell him how great this was and what I could do. And it's not that he didn't believe in me, but he said he liked what I was doing, but I should have, a safe backup or something. But
That's fair.
I didn't. So
You're just like also you're like I'm still at this age, but like you're also really at this age where it's like, dude, we gotta just try things. Like we're so young. We don't have kids. We don't have like incredibly significant others. Like it's the time to take risks. So I applaud you, man. I
Yeah.
mean, that's pretty cool. I love hearing the stories of like though that young of people. Like people applaud me for how young I'm doing this, but like 18 is like ridiculously young. Like I didn't know the difference between up and down when I was 18. So the fact that you're like doing something so sick as wholesaling is pretty cool. Um
Appreciate that.
yeah, uh so okay, you got your first deal. Um how does that feel? Tell me about that moment when that check hit the bank, because that's always a special moment.
Well, it didn't hit the bank. I went and picked it up because I wanted to see it in my hand
Right.
for the first time. And it was pretty cool. I don't know. It's just like I think I still have it. It's in a drawer somewhere. Um, and I was very excited because it was like proof of concept, like you said. So I was like, man, this actually works.
Nice.
Um, I always knew it would work if I just do it and stick with it. But just like actually seeing it and like having it in my hand was just like I was like proud of myself a little bit. So
Yeah, of course. That's
yeah.
insane. So, okay, you keep going. Um, that took 4 months. So
Mhm.
then you just keep doing the Keeley method, basically?
Yeah, I did the same thing. And then my second deal was I think 2 months later, and that was 15,000.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was with New Western. I micro flipped it through New Western. Um, and yeah, that was. I just continued doing the same thing.
Right.
Until at some point, this, I started doing agent and direct to seller, and I thought I
Right.
could do everything. And then I hit a block and was like, man, because when you get a couple of deals, at least for me, when I got a couple of deals and I had some money in the bank, I felt like I knew everything. So I was like, why can I not do all of these different things and make even more money?
Right. Right.
But it doesn't really work like that.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about this. I don't know, you might have talked to other people too, but like you and I made literally the exact same mistake. I
Yeah.
might have just made it a little bit earlier than you, but like basically the mistake that so many people make is they see all the different ways you can make money, so they try to do all of them. Like my first deal was actually direct to seller. Because I had started for like 3 months before I
Mhm.
joined Astro Flipping, and then I started doing both, and it just didn't work. I made my first deal for 4 months, then my second deal came 8 months later. Um, and then I was like, I need to stick to one. And I went just all in on agents, and then I started getting deals constantly. And I feel like
Yeah.
similar story for you, right?
Yeah. Except I liked the wholesalers a little bit better. So I
Yeah.
stuck with the Keegley model, and I got way more deals that way towards the end of the year. Cause it was from the time when I first got my first deal to like actually being consistent, it was like an 8-month period. So like I wasn't consistent for 8 months. I would get a deal 2 months later, 3 months later, get another deal. And then I would start being a little bit more consistent once I went away from the trying to do everything.
Hmm.
And then it came down to just repeating the process.
I love it. And so where are you at right now? Like, what's your business look like right now?
So right now it's only the Keeley model with wholesalers and MLS. So I have one VA doing outreach on Facebook in all of California for my wholesalers. And then I have 3 real estate agents that are buyer's agents who do my MLS offers in LA and Sacramento. So they just
Nice.
go out and source MLS deals or properties, opportunities, comp them, submit them to my CRM. I give an offer, they represent me, and I split my fees with them. So
Love it. That's
yeah,
awesome. How'd you come up with that?
Curtis Harvey,
Curtis Harvey, first
yeah,
guy I interviewed on this podcast. He was the one, he taught
the
you how to do
goat.
that?
Yeah, he taught me everything in my business currently now is was taught by him. The way I have
Nice.
my entire process, all my automations, all my CRM, everything. He trained me quite a bit on that stuff. And it's helped tremendously. And my entire business is streamlined a lot better because before I was doing deals every month, but I was all over the place.
Yeah.
And in my brain, I was like, I was about to explode because I didn't know what was going on.
Right. No, I feel
But
it.
now it's much clearer.
So something I've also noticed about you, and this is because I know you, is like you really like are willing to spend money on education, right? Like you're a sub 2 student. You did Zolan's program. I think you learned that from Curtis Harvey's program, right? Like he has
Mhm.
like a program now, right? So like
Acquisitions Academy.
right. So
Yep.
like what's your philosophy on education? Like learning stuff.
I think everybody, if they want to learn faster, should, but not every program that you find. There's only specific ones that I'll buy, and like I bought all these programs that I did because they were associated with the one that I first joined, which has helped me the best. So Astro was the first one I got, and all of these other programs I got around Astro or after Astro were because they were built by people who deal with Jamil and Astro, so I trusted them. I don't typically buy courses or just any education platform that's just being advertised by some guru, you know? Um, I'll be careful and I'll get on the phone and really understand what's in the program to see if it's worth the time and money to do it. All the ones that I have bought so far have been. And I
What
think
questions would you ask, like, let's say, because again, this podcast is kind of geared towards people who are just starting. Like, what questions would you ask somebody if they're thinking about joining a program, whether it's Jamil's, whether it's Pace's, or just like a completely different one?
what would I ask the person buying the
No, what would
program?
I ask the person
Like
selling
the
the course?
reps.
Yeah, yeah.
I would ask first, like, what kind of criteria or what kind of like course curriculum is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any live calls? Do I get to talk to this guy, or is it just are you just throwing videos at me? Pretty much now. These are questions I would ask now. These were not questions I asked when I first bought Astro because I didn't know what to ask. So
Right.
now I would always make sure that you have some sort of like connection with the guy who's actually representing the entire education system. Like for example, Jamil, I can talk to Jamil through the Zoom calls, social media, and he's the guy who runs the entire Astro flipping. So I have some sort of connection to him. I can talk and I can actually talk to him. So first, I would have that. Second, learn what is actually provided in the course, and then if they have some sort of like community or something that could be useful, depending on what industry. I guess maybe not all industries need some sort of community, but those would probably be the main ones.
I honestly also think like it's so interesting to me how people like join these programs and then just don't do the things and
I
like
know.
complain about it. Isn't that so crazy? Like why do you think that is? Because I still ponder that. I'm like, you paid thousands of dollars for this course or whatever. And he literally just explains step by step what you need to do to make money, and then you just don't do it. Like what do you think that is?
I think it's because most of the people who buy a program priced at what these programs are costing expect everyone in the program to do the work for them. And when they find out that's
That's a good
not the
one.
case, they get lazy.
Yeah, I feel like people look for the easy button. I agree with
Yeah.
that. Like
Yeah.
100%, that could be it. Yeah, it's true. I mean, like you gotta still put in the work, even though like it's a course, but you still it's not gonna it's never you still always got to be working, right? Like you
Yeah.
still got to be. I think you have to. You don't have to. Like there are people who can get a deal working 3 hours a day because they have like jobs and stuff like that, but that's gonna take you double as long. I feel like, and that's like at least in my head,
Yeah.
it has to be.
I always tell people who are, I have like old friends or people hit me up asking what programs did I buy and stuff like that. And I always tell them, like, don't buy anything if you're not going all in. Like, there's no
Right.
point in wasting your time and money if you're not going all in on this stuff
What made
and
you
willing
want to
to
go
do the
all
work.
in?
I
Like
had
what made
nothing
you like
else.
you had nothing else? That's
I
what
had
I
no
feel.
other option.
I love it. You're just like, I have nothing. I don't know what the hell to do with my life. I just have to do something.
Yeah, exactly. I had to do something.
Right. Honestly, like I kind of feel you on that in the sense that that was kind of my story too, in the sense of I have a theory that the reason why people do things are are willing to do this business are basically only two. One is it's like inspiration or desperation, right? And I feel like the most successful people have both.
Yeah,
I
I was
think.
about to say that.
Like what so what let's get into it. So like what do you think is your inspiration and what do you think your desperation was when you were starting?
My inspiration was probably to just show, I don't know, prove that I could actually be successful at something to
Mhm.
myself and to my family.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I don't think I have one specifically, but if I had to say, that was probably the subconscious inspiration there.
Yeah.
And then the desperation was that I didn't have anything else, so I had to do something, or else I'm not making any money and I'm gonna have to go to college and get a regular job. So that was the desperation.
I love it. How did you know it just wasn't for you? Was it just because you hated high school, so you're like, "I'm definitely gonna hate college"?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I didn't find this out until 8th grade, believe it or not. Like, I find things out late apparently, but I didn't even know you had to keep going to school after high school. I didn't know there was a college,
Right.
like legit. So I was so sad when I found that out. And then I realized you don't have to go if you do something else.
I
So
love
I
it.
just knew, like, for a while, there's no way I'm going to college.
I love it. So then what do your friends who are also 18/19/20 think of what you're doing? I'm very curious.
They don't say much, but the few that I have talked to think it's really cool. Um, and then one of them got into exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know him, Hunter,
Oh, really? That's
with
cool.
Aztec. Yeah, shout
Nice.
out. So, um, he was one of my friends I've known. I grew up racing with him.
Oh, that's dope.
So he was someone who thought it was cool, and I taught him some stuff, but he took a lot of action and did it on his own. And then a lot of other people hit me up, thought it was cool, wanted me to show them stuff. I was like, go learn on YouTube, and they never did anything. So
Yeah. Did you lose friends over it? I feel like most people when you're 18 or 19, they're trying to like freaking party, drink, do drugs, hook up with girls. Like what you did you lose any friends over it?
I wouldn't say I lost friends, but I just kind of stopped talking as much to a lot of them.
Mhm.
Um, because I just didn't have the time, nor did I want to spend the energy talking to them about dumb stuff. Occasionally, yeah, I'll go and I'll talk to them and hang out and do dumb things and just have some fun. But like, yeah, they're not as close as friends as they used to be. But that's more of a choice that I made.
Right. Was that a hard choice?
No.
I love your answers. Your answers like, "What do you mean?" Like, these are usually very hard problems that people deal with, but I really like how you're just like, "No, wasn't hard, easy to take consistent action." Like, what like, of course, like, I just did it. I mean, I chose it because Jamil's funny. Like, that's a hilarious attitude. Like, you
uh,
like it's like the only other person you're reminding me a lot of the Trana brothers because they're also 18 to 20 and like their answers are very much like yours of like I don't understand how to answer this question other than by saying I just did it. Like it
yeah,
happened,
exactly.
but
Sometimes it's
like
just hard.
yeah.
Hard to get all technical with it. Just like kind of choose the logical answer, like
Yeah.
obviously.
Obviously, I can't. I'm trying to make some money.
Yeah.
Um so what are your goals right now? What are you trying to achieve?
As far as my business,
Mhm.
currently
Life
I'm
too.
trying to.
Like what are you trying to get right now in life and business?
Well, in business, I want to scale everything I'm doing now into other markets and just pretty much. I know what I need to do and I know what I want to do to scale to a point where I can duplicate everything into other markets and basically just double, triple, quadruple my income. So California right now is my main market, as you know, and this is kind of, I like to call it my testing grounds, where I'm just basically testing everything until I'm consistent in California, because I feel like if I can be consistent in Cali, I'll be consistent everywhere else. And once I have basically in my entire team structure set up and automated in Cali, I'll be able to duplicate all of that into other markets, and just make more money. So that's kind of the goal, is just to scale right now.
So what does that mean? Like, what is having your team completely automated?
Well, I kind of have it set like as far as my team structure. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like what does that mean to be fully automated and so you can move on from California?
Oh, basically to have everything as far as acquisitions and dispositions handled, to where I'm not spending the day to day acquiring or selling deals, and I'm just kind of overlooking most of that and handling more of like the logistics of the business. So really, I would just need someone to be able to manage the deals coming in, manage the outreach for the deals, manage the outreach for the buyers, and manage the deals that are being sold.
I love it. So you need an acquisitions manager, a dispositions manager, and do you have a TC, transaction coordinator?
No, I feel like they're kind of useless right now.
Why?
Because I feel like the people who are doing the dispositions and acquisitions, the ones actually involved in the deal, should be the ones handling the paperwork involved with that deal. Because who knows the deal and that transaction best than the person actually handling it.
You mean because you're micro flipping is what you mean?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. I
And I
understand
feel
what
like
you're
it would
saying.
be maybe if it was like a traditional transaction with very few parties involved, it would be much simpler. But these transactions get very complicated, and sometimes the people who are, I feel like some of the transactions I've done, like how am I supposed to possibly train a transaction coordinator to structure that?
You can
Maybe
do
it's
it.
just yeah, I was just gonna say maybe it's just a limiting mindset.
You
But
100% can do it, and trust me, dude, when the deals are going bad and you have a TC who can handle it versus because it's distracting you from getting deals, right? When a deal's blowing up and nobody knows what to do and you have to like pass messages, even if it is a micro flip, having the TC there to like manage everyone and their emotions and everything, like you should look into that. We can talk about it after this, but
okay.
it's so cheap and also like like I pay mine I think like 375 a deal, but like only when the
Okay.
deal closes. So it's worth it is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. We'll talk about that. Um, and then how many markets, bro? Like what is the grand vision? Like what are you trying to achieve? Let's look into the future. How many markets do you want to do this? When do you want to do anything else other than wholesaling? What's the
Yeah.
grand vision right now?
Yeah, so I definitely want to branch out outside of wholesaling, as I'm growing my business. How many markets, bro? I have no idea. As many as I could possibly make happen, and not like feel like I'm falling apart.
Right.
So as much as I can handle, really, if that comes down to it. So, in the short term, I definitely want to be in at least a minimum of 3 in the next 2 years, consistently, and I could probably do more than that.
You for sure can do more than that.
Yeah,
You're in two already?
I mean, yeah, I consider California like one big market,
Oh, okay.
honestly, because like sometimes I'll do deals in like random areas in like Fresno, or like I can't. It's hard for me to say I'm only in Sacramento and LA, even though those are my two main. When I'll get like a random deal in like Palm Springs or Fresno or something.
Yeah. Do those close sometimes within the ones in Fresno?
Yeah, I'm in escrow 101 right now.
All right, I need to stop. I keep getting those and then I kind of ignore them. I need to get on those. I've been like silly on that. I need to get more
I
in
think
those ones.
I think the one that I'm in escrow with right now was sent to you, and you never did anything with it
Yeah,
because it
probably
was through
not.
Hunter.
Yeah, because it was probably because it was in Fresno. Like, because I don't even look
Yeah,
at the ones that are
it
in
was
Fresno. And now I'm losing money, dude. Like, how much money did I lose on that compared to you? Like, what I mean by that is how much money are you making, and then now I'm losing.
8,500.
There you go. See, guys, and that's what happens when you're lazy like me and just want the easy button and like do the San Francisco and the Sacramento deals because those are the ones I mainly do. Those are my main markets.
That's good though that you're just sticking to to one thing, because I try not to get out there too much, and start doing things in random spots, because I don't want to put my focus on those. I want to put my focus on the places that I'm doing the most deals in.
Right. Do you
So,
eventually want to do fix and flipping and owning stuff and stuff like that?
not fix and flip, but I do
Yeah, I
want
also
to.
hate fix and flipping. I hate the
I
idea
think
of it.
it's like useless if you have a successful wholesale business.
Right.
It's not worth the time and energy to do it for the money you're making. If you're making 10 plus thousand on every transaction in a wholesale deal, and you take a week of your time to do it, like, it's not worth it, in my opinion.
It's also so much easier.
Yeah, it's way easier.
Right.
And then as far as owning things, yeah, I definitely want to own properties, Airbnbs, multifamily, preferably all creative. I haven't really, I'm in sub 2, but I haven't done anything in sub 2 because I've just been so focused on trying to scale my wholesaling business. Eventually, though, I'll be very active in there, and I want to start buying things for sure.
Yeah.
So that's definitely on the radar. And then I never answered your question though about the life goals and stuff. So I mean, I don't know what, but I envision myself with multiple businesses and traveling the world, living the life.
Balling on
I
a
want to travel, bro.
balling on a
I've been,
private plane with your boys
yeah,
type of thing.
exactly. I've been so, like, I don't go anywhere. I don't
Right.
travel. All of my time is on here on my business. If I do go somewhere, it's like local in California, LA every once in a while, Bay Area or something. I don't go to Japan or England or whatever, or
Have
travel.
you been? You should come to some events. Like you didn't go to Clever, did you?
I'm going to the mastermind.
You're in the mastermind.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I'm gonna try to crash it. I'm gonna ask Jamil if I can crash it. I think he said that anybody can come once you, because I've already gone to the mastermind. I think he said once you are a mastermind student, you can come back and hang out. I don't know. I'm gonna take him up on it just to hang out. I
Yeah,
think
you
it's
can.
cool.
That's what I've been told by multiple people who went to the last
You're
mastermind.
you're gonna love it. I mean, it's so cool, and like also seeing their business open up is like amazing. It's like a solid time. Um, my recommendation to you is you even like make business traveling, because like if you start going to the events that like Jamil and Pace are doing, like in Florida or Atlanta or stuff like that, because A, that's a business expense, and B, they're super fun and you meet like all these really cool people
Mm-hmm.
that like you will become part of your network and you're going to eventually do deals with. That's the next step, because then you can also, because you probably, if I had to give a guess, you haven't taken a vacation because you feel like the business stops if you don't, right?
Yeah.
If you do that, at least you'll feel like you're getting stuff done, even, and you're learning stuff too. So it makes you feel less guilty, because I bet you feel that like I do. Like if things aren't moving, there's like a guilt to that. Like, do you feel that sometimes?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, or I'm off having fun when I'm supposed to be running a business, I feel like I'm a piece of shit.
Or like it's not even that, or like don't feel like that. Like if you can, just like you should. Like I definitely get what you mean though. Like it's like I
Yeah.
need.
No, I'm over exaggerating a little bit, but it's kind of,
Yeah, I
the
like
gist of
it.
it.
Um, yeah, man, that's pretty cool. So, um, I'm just curious. So like, so goal wise? It's just traveling. You think like that's the main one?
No, I definitely want to, like, own a lot of things. I don't know. I guess I'm pretty much the stereotypical entrepreneur, but I like
Yeah. Were
the
you always
materialistic
entrepreneurial?
things.
Like since you were like young?
Um, I mean, I never really did things to make money,
Mm-hmm.
but I always kind of had the desire to own nice things, I guess, and
Mm-hmm.
make money. Um, so yeah, I guess you could say that, but I never really did anything
Started
that,
any businesses before this
yeah,
one?
yeah,
Gotcha.
this is my first business.
I gotcha. Um, what do you like? Because I'm getting into deeper stuff. I'm curious, like what's like the advice you give? Because I bet you get it like me. Like, what's the advice you give to new wholesalers or new people getting into real estate?
Yeah, we talked about this a little earlier, and I tell everybody this: just stick to one thing until it's
Right.
successful, because people, especially people who join Astro, they hear everybody sharing how they're making money. So they try to do everything. And that's like the number one advice that I give anyone in any business, or especially wholesaling, is choose one strategy until you're successful in it, because they all work.
Right.
And same with businesses. Most businesses work if you do it right. And a lot of people will quit a lot of businesses because they feel it's not working, because either they're focused on too much within their business, or they're focused on multiple businesses and trying to just make money so fast. So it doesn't work like that.
Right. No, I definitely get that. What do you do other than this business, man? Do you still stream? Do you still game?
I will game every once in a while for a couple of hours at night. I don't stream. I don't make YouTube videos anymore. I think my last YouTube video was probably 6 to 8 months ago. And that was even just playing every once in a while. They were just like clips, a compilation of clips and stuff. But I like to go to the gym. I mean, I don't really like it, but I'll go. And then
nice.
I like to ride my dirt bike. Sometimes I kind of got back into that. I stopped for a couple of years just because I was kind of burnt out. But recently I've been going a little bit more often. So
what does your day look like?
I wake up late. That's my day. I don't have a good morning routine, which I'm trying to fix. So you don't need a good fancy morning routine to make it decent money, but I'm still trying to fix it because I feel better. So I'll wake up in the morning and I'm getting into reading, but I'll meditate and give myself affirmations. Again, I'm not super consistent on that. Yeah, I'm not super consistent. Like there'll some days I'll take off, or maybe 2 days, because I'm just lazy. But I need to stop doing that. Like I'm not perfect. So
isn't it great how this is like this? I feel like this is the only business where I feel like this is the laziest business you can be in. Like if you want, you can literally work. Like I think Michelle and Paul literally work half days, right? Like I feel like it's the quickest way, real estate, to like make a decent amount of money or a lot of money and not work a crazy amount if you don't want to.
Yeah, if you do it right, you can structure it in a way where you don't have to work hardly any at all, like, half days, like you said.
And honestly, like I also like, this is something I've noticed, is it's good to have your own schedule. Like if you like waking up late, it can be better. Like some people like waking up, like certain people wake up at like 5 a.m. to start the day. I'm like, just no, like that's not like the type of life I'm trying to live. I take 2-hour lunch breaks, right? Like that's my personal thing. Is like I'll start working at 9, then I like take a lunch break from 11 to 1, and then I work till like 8 or 9. Like that's personally.
Yeah,
like,
I'll usually do like I usually do like an hour. I know people will like eat their food while working. I'm like, bro, I need to like watch some YouTube videos or something and just chill,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll wake up around like 8:39. So I do wake up kind of late, and then
it's not that
maybe
late.
That's early for some people. I don't know.
It's not crazy late. I thought you meant you woke up at like 10 or 11 or something like that.
Not that late.
Okay. So keep going.
Yeah. And then I'll jump around on my computer after if I meditate first and write my goals and do my affirmations like I'm supposed to, then I'll do that first. And
then why do you do that stuff?
I get more deals. I make more money.
Why?
Because I'm in the right headspace. Yeah. I heavily believe in manifestation and what you and Jamil teaches this. The vibrational frequency you put your body in, and I can feel it now, where when I feel good, I'm things are happening. But when I'm lazy or I don't do that stuff, I feel a little bit more down, and I'm not making money and deals aren't coming in. So I do it for that, and also because it just feels good when I do it. So I'll just jump on the computer after that, and then reply to some emails and texts. I'll submit the offers from the deals that the agents submitted into my CRM from the day before. And then I'll get going on checking my email for wholesale deals that came through and start comping those and get options. And then once I kind of do those two things, I'll market the deals out that I have in inventory or any new deals. If I don't have new deals, I'll follow up with buyers. After that, I'm pretty much trying to get the deals I have in escrow to actually close and respond to more people that message me.
I love it. So how long does that process take? Like, when do you stop worrying?
I usually stop. It depends on the day, but I try to be done by 5.
Okay.
And it shouldn't take that long. I just drag it out, and I shouldn't. But yeah, I drag it out for quite some time, so it does take me all day because I make it that way, and then I'll hit the gym.
I love it. What do you know your KPIs on how many offers you send out a day and then how many actually get under contract on the MLS?
Yeah, so if I get 100, I'll get usually 1 or 2.
Okay. That
Yeah.
like sell and like close.
Yeah, this month, for one agent, I had 100 offers out last month, and we got 2 under contract and 1 sold. We had to cancel the other one.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's solid. How long does it take to get 100 offers out?
1 month.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're doing 5 a day. I tell the agents I work with a minimum of 5, and there are,
And they're ones that just got listed?
well, yeah, actually, I've had more success with fresh listings. People always talk about going after 90+ day listings, but in my experience in Sacramento, at least, I never have any movement on those because they're stubborn sellers. So the best ones I've had that actually close on the MLS have been fresh listings that were listed 5 days ago, yesterday, or whatever. I don't really pay attention to days on market unless I'm trying to negotiate price. If I notice it's like on market for a while, then I'll try to get better deals.
I love it. I'm gonna like talk to you about that. That'd be a cool source to just be doing that as well. Because I haven't been doing that at all. I've been like making relationships with realtors, and then I get off market ones that way, or like ones that like have something with like an on market. But that's like interesting. That's like very like possible to do, and like would be like adds like an like I feel like that doesn't take that much time. Like who's
It's
writing up the
not
offers?
my buyer agents.
Right.
So I structured it in a way to where like the first couple of weeks with a new agent is a little bit busy because I have to set them up and as far as like getting them all my terms, comping or training them on how to comp, giving them access to my CRM so they can search for properties that have already been submitted so they're not duplicating properties. So the first like couple of weeks is a little bit of or actually it's more the first couple of days, but then the first week I'll review all of the properties with them on one day that they submitted. And then just get a bunch of offers submitted in one day if all of their comps and ARVs are correct. So it's more of like comping training for the first few weeks. And then after that, it's like once you're past that barrier of training them and getting them set up and whatever you need to get set up, it's very efficient because all you have to do is log into your CRM and see what properties have been submitted. You'll see the situation of the property, the ARV, the comps they provided, and I'll just double check the comp. I won't rerun comps, but I'll double check the comp, make sure it's legit. And then I have that ARV, I plug it into my offer calculator and then just email them my offer for that property. So I can get 5 for me nowadays. I can get 5 in like 5 minutes.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I might hit up Curtis about that because that would be cool to add on as like a thing where like it's super easy to do.
It is. And it's very scalable.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that in the Bay Area.
Market for agents.
Yeah. That's solid. I like that idea.
Yeah, set the right expectations though. The way I did it was recorded videos. First of all was like an introduction, basically just saying, thank you for wanting to learn what I have to offer. And then the second video, I explained my business model so they know I'm wholesaling. And then I basically show them how I make deals or how I do deals. The last video is what I expect out of the agents working with me and what they can expect submitting offers for me. and how the structure is going to be like. And I tell them, if you can't, like in the video, I made sure this was very clear. If you can't submit 5 a day, don't work with me. And if you are not going to comp the way I comp, don't work with me.
Right.
So pretty simple.
How many agents do you think you should have for one market? Because eventually you're going to hit everything that hit the MLS that day.
Correct. So I would probably max it at like 3.
Yeah.
That way you're getting 15 out every day, which maybe some days you'll only get 4 for an agent or 3 for an agent. So if you are running into that issue, I think you just have to test it per market you're in. So if you have too many agents, you just let one go. Just tell them it's not working or something. I don't know.
Yeah. What? So hit up Curtis and like he would teach you all of this?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was actually something he planned to teach me. I think he just was being a nice guy and taught me anyways. I think. I don't actually know. But I paid for his acquisitions academy. So that's what was like. I didn't really know what he was going to teach me. All I cared about was his SOPs. So
right.
I just wanted those, and I got a lot more out of it than that. So
yeah, I love it. And then did you so it just happened to be something from the Acquisitions Academy?
Yes.
Cool. I might buy it. Like, I don't know. Like, why not? I'd love to see Curtis's educational stuff and then see. I want to implement that specifically. Like, does he have videos on
that? Does he have what?
Videos on that?
No. So it's not a recorded thing where it's not like any course. It's one-on-one training.
Okay, nice.
So he will evaluate your business and help, I guess, with where you could be more efficient and the way he does things. At least that's what he did for me. I don't know if it's the same for everyone, because it's not any sort of like course. I think maybe it's different per person's business, maybe. But it helped me a lot. I don't know if he wants me shouting him out. But oh well, thank you, Curtis.
Yeah, sorry, Curtis. I'm not gonna put his number in there. Cool, man. So we've hit an hour. What's like the one lesson you'd want? Like, I know you said the one lesson. What's like the best lesson you've learned so far from wholesaling, from like real estate? You can just, if it's the focus one, it's okay too.
I actually think it's collaborating.
Talk about that.
And working with others, because I always like everything I've done in my life has been competition. Motocross racing, individual, but I was very competitive. Video games, the games I played were for the most part individual games because I like to play like battle royales, and so it was like very individual. So everybody else was competition. So I kind of went into real estate initially with that mindset until I joined Astro, and then Jamil completely changed my mindset on that. So that's probably the biggest lesson. And if I stuck with that mindset, I wouldn't have gotten any deals done at all.
Right.
Because every deal I've done has been with someone else because I either reached out to him or like I worked with them in some sort of way.
And why do you think that works better than like doing it on your own? Don't you get more money by working by yourself? Don't you get like more of the pie?
I mean, technically, sometimes you can make a bigger fee, but in reality, like you're limiting to yourself to so many more opportunities to do deals and relationships to build that open up other opportunities to make you more money.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think I've done one. I've only done one wholesale deal that I was direct and I was the direct assigner to the buyer with the direct buyer. I think that was it. Every other one was either I was direct and I sold it through a dispo wholesaler, or I acquired it through an AC wholesaler, micro flipped it, or co-wholesaled it to one of my buyers. So yeah, work together, do deals together.
I love it. Cool, man. Well, what do you want how do the people hit you up? How do we spread your brand? Where do we what are we promoting?
Social media, DM me or message me, or you can call me.
How? What's your DM?
My Instagram is just my name, Tyler, Tyler Uenaka, Uenaka. Same with my Facebook. And then my
Like that?
phone number. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
My phone number. I guess I'll give. I don't know how many people are watching, if any, but
We got 10. You're
oh, sweet.
popular, dude. This is like one of my higher ones. I usually have between like 5 to 6. We've been like oscillating between like 9 to 14. So I think it's because you did a lot of
Let's
like
go.
you did a lot of prep. So I think a lot of your friends and family and stuff are watching. If I had to give a
I
guess.
did, bro. I'm the marketing god. I'm just
Yeah, there you
kidding.
go, dude. There you go. So what? Okay,
Um,
we got your Instagram. What's your phone number? Or what do you want
916.
to try?
I'll
916.
just give out my business line. 916-894-8341.
And how should they hit you up, bro? Because we already know that like people, like I've given out my phone number before, and then people hit me up, and then I have a conversation with them, and then I never hear from them again. Like, what do you want from someone that hits you up and is like looking to work with you?
Okay, so I don't mean for this to come across rude or at all, but don't call me or message me just to say hi and then never talk to me again. Call me with questions or deals. Questions or deals. I'll help you all day if you have genuine questions or you need genuine help, or if you have a deal that you need to be sold. But if you're just going to call me and say, hey, how was your day? Then I don't want to waste my time with
We got
that.
the man, the myth, the legend on here, dude. Curtis is watching.
Curtis, my
Yeah,
guy.
dude. Curtis, bro.
I genuinely like, I love Curtis, bro. He's helped me so much. Everything that I do in my business now is because of Curtis, basically. I mean, the foundations came from Jamil, obviously, but
no, he's a beast too. Like he's crazy. Like he's actually just a crazy man. Like just systems out of our minds. All right. What do you want to leave them with anything else before I stop this?
I don't know what else to leave.
Like, what do you want the people to know?
I'm the dispo guy.
I'm going to tell you the right answer. If you're single and around 20 years old, hit this guy up. He wants a girlfriend.
Bro.
And you fucking loaded, guys. He's got a lot of money.
Loaded.
This kid's
and
balling
these
out.
guns, bro.
Oh, those guns, dude.
I've been hitting the gym. So.
6'2", rich and attractive. Guys, I don't know what you're looking for other than that. So we're going to end it there. Leave it with that. I gave you guys his phone number, so hit him up. Hit him up if you're trying to get laid. Hit him up if you're actually trying to do videos. And let's see if I can do this outro right. Skorch the Fears, episode 37.
Thank you for having me, Jonah. I appreciate it. It was
bro. Of course, dude.
It's always good talking to you.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, like I appreciate you. We've done like what, 6 deals together or something like that. Like I think it's you who I've done the most deals with. Either you or Angelo who I've like closed the most deals with. Curtis wins on like the longest chain though. Curtis and me did a deal where there were 5 wholesalers on it.
I've done that. Wild. I've done 5 wholesalers.
So wild, dude. Yeah. All right. Next week we got Brent Daniels, which is wild. I somehow got him on here. Like that's gonna be pretty fun. I really don't want to like screw up the outro and the intro for it, but like I'm gonna probably do it because I need to like somehow test it. But anywho, catch that. That one's going to be at 3 p.m. PST, not 5 p.m. because he's a busy man. So we're going to do it at 3 p.m. PST. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to go into his story, and I'm really excited because there's a lot of questions I want to ask him. So I'm going to leave it at that. Bro, you're amazing. You can stay on a little bit afterwards, and I'm going to do this outro. I will see y'all next week. Let's go!